your boy Patrick Michael Strange. This is the New Release Wednesday show, giving you the NEW from the NRW here at Strange Manor. I'm here with my squad that's mocking me. What's up with that? Really, CC?
No, I was sitting on his
okay.
side.
I felt it. I'm like, look at there.
No.
I was doing the bouncy ball.
What?
All right.
Patrick, have you met you?
I got the squad in the house. Let me introduce these people. I love
Roast
you
of
guys.
Patrick
Anyway,
Strange Part 2.
in the front row, I got Mac, Glenn Lawrence McDonald. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on?
I got Alicia G. Over
Yeah.
here, KPR Gaming Announce Lewis Bailey, head of NRW Gaming. I got CC the Greek Geek.
Hello.
What's going on? I got Belle, finally back on the show. She's been busy, but she's back here. Happy to have Belle in the house. What's up, Belle? I have Dalek Sick, my boy Dale.
Exterminate.
And of course, the Commodore himself, our Russian colluder, CY.
You keep calling me that. I'm gonna start doing some real collusion, man.
Watch out,
Don't
Molo's
make him
coming for you.
conform. Don't make him conform.
Alright, have y'all been watching a lot of TV this year? A
Yeah.
lot of binge watching.
Yeah, mention for sure.
Okay. We have our, for this segment, we're going to talk about the best TV show / TV series of the year. And I'm going to turn it over to my man, Glenn Lawrence. Hit it up, brother.
Hey, so I have actually taken a little bit of a time off from watching TV, but surprisingly enough, I was able to catch up on most of the shows that we have nominated here today. The shows that we have nominated for best TV show series of the year, Queer Eye, which is out on Netflix. This Is Us, which should be called This Is Crime, on NBC. Legends of Tomorrow, which I am not quite sure how it made this list because I'm not a fan. American Horror Story Apocalypse. I'm a big scaredy cat. Haven't watched that too much. Daredevil, which I love, but Netflix doesn't, so it got canceled. Game of Thrones, which everyone is waiting for to come back this year, or I'm sorry, next year, April 2019. The Expanse, which I began watching.
Yeah.
Quiet in the back row.
Sorry.
Quiet in the back. What theater is this? Is this Georgetown? Okay. She understood that. She got that one. BoJack Horseman, which is also on Netflix. Dare White People. Netflix has all the shows right now. Insecure. Great show. I'm caught up on that one. Glow, Netflix, another great series about the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. I used to love that. I'm very fond of that show, that time in wrestling. And then Castlevania Season 2, The Magicians, which we got a cool little interview with way back at Wakama-Con. Check that out. Blackish, one of my favorite shows on television. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Sabrina the Teenage Witch has made a comeback on Netflix. I am not exactly sure what that's about, but I've heard it's very, very good. Atlanta, one of my favorite shows on TV as well. The Good Place, another one of my favorite shows on TV. We did a really good job of nominating these television shows, I'll tell you. Fresh Off the Boat, which is a show I haven't quite seen yet, and Big Mouth. All of these shows were phenomenal, save for Legends of Tomorrow. We're gonna have to check the register and see how that one got on there.
Run me.
I was very fond of most of these shows. I thought Atlanta was amazing. It had some great drama in there, some great comedy, and it just showed how talented Donald Glover is. Blackish continues to be at the forefront of primetime television, especially for people of color. Same thing with Fresh Off the Boat. The Good Place, I just love the fact that it shows us how, we can be kind to each other. And if you're not, you might end up with a second chance. I really like that. Game of Thrones, obviously everyone loves, and we can't wait to see that come back. I don't like crying, so I don't watch This Is Us.
I don't like crying either.
Yeah,
I do anyways, but I don't. I can't watch that show though because
there's too many tears.
well,
only
the whole
cry if
premise,
you're
because I lost my dad a couple years ago. So the
Uh-huh.
whole premise is like, no, we're not
Yeah.
doing this.
The
We are
whole-
not
The
crying.
whole premise
for an
is
hour.
what are the things in your life that make you cry? We'll show you all of them.
Right.
Okay.
This is
All right.
going to be really hard.
So for myself, I actually was very fond of and voted for Big Mouth. it took me back to puberty, and I understood myself so much better after watching this cartoon. And I think everybody else did too. It's a really phenomenal show. Nick Kroll is the creator of it. It's got some really great voice talent in there. One of my favorites, who is what's her name from SNL.
Maya Rudolph?
Yes, Maya Rudolph is one of my favorites.
With names.
Oh my goodness. Maya Rudolph, she kills it as the hormone monster. I love it. I just always want to take a bubble bite. Every time I watch this show, it's amazing. I loved Big Mouth. It got my vote. Let's go around the room, see who else voted for what. So, Alicia, start it off. What'd you vote for?
I voted for Castlevania. As a longtime fan of the Castlevania video games, I thought it was a really good adaptation. There was a lot of great characterization, a lot of development on characters. The animation was super smooth and gorgeous, and I really just want that team to adapt like every video game I love into a full-blown series. I would watch all of it, and I've been out of the... I know it's technically not an anime because it's done a lot of cross production between America and Korea, but like I used to be a total weeb, and it brought me back. And if they just adapted all of my favorite video games into TV shows, I could die happy. It was amazing.
Ooh, okay. So Castlevania got a vote. Who's next? Back there, Lewis. What'd you vote for?
So I put it between two. I have to match up with Castlevania as well. Very amazing series, great adaptation of the Castlevania storyline. I hope they move that forward. I'm excited to see the Devil May Cry series to come from the same creator, because I love Devil May Cry. And I also have to give it up with Big Mouth, because I've never seen it before, and I start off with the first season this year, and just so hysterically funny. Just so hysterically funny to laugh at these situations you shouldn't be laughing at, but they're so goddamn funny. Great series, great comedy. It even beat South Park this season.
Yeah.
I thought South Park had a meh season this year. But yeah,
We're talking about kid boners here, people.
yeah, and that's what I appreciate about it, is the show is not afraid to talk about something that never is talked about, which is puberty, and not just from the boys' side, but from the girls' side. Which
I never
It should
knew
be
that.
seen as a sex ed training video.
Yes.
I really need to see
But
that.
I
And
never.
it should be shown in schools for sex ed.
Wait, I never knew that girls hump dolls. And my sister has so many Cabbage Patch dolls. I did not realize that was a thing.
As
until
far
I
as
watched
I
it.
know, that's not a universal
Pregnancy episode.
experience.
Okay.
Is this the
That's
first grade level of an orgy?
Oh my god.
Okay, alright, sorry, a little bit off track. Lewis is stuffing the ballot box. He's voted for 2. CC, what did you vote for?
I voted for Big Mouth for obvious reasons, because who doesn't like a bubble bear? But, I also want to give honorable mention to The Expanse, because I know that that's not the most popular show on the list, but if you like sci-fi, it's a really good show. Amazing cast, amazing storytelling, and it's pretty much along the lines of like a space exploration story, but there's a lot of political context in it, a lot of elements of imperialism, and it's just really, really well thought out. So I would encourage anyone who's like a sci-fi fan to watch that.
Yeah, how do you start Civilization over again? What are the
Pretty
choices
much.
that you would make, right?
Right.
Okay, are you good? You're good?
I'm good.
What about the next,
Belle.
Belle, I'm sorry, I couldn't see that. Belle, what did you vote for?
I actually voted for Game of Thrones,
Ooh, okay.
with Big Mouth being my close second.
True.
But this season of Game of Thrones really, though it was a very short season,
Yeah.
really set the premise. It's kind of interesting when you have the in-between seasons, seeing how much you don't know if it's the writers writing their own story or if they're reading Reddit and taking notes. Because really all the conspiracy theories and stuff that were on Reddit really came to be like, yes, you guys were right. It's like, were we actually right? Or did you just decide that, oh, they're writing a
Just made a
really
better
good
script.
story. We're going to go that direction. But I'm really curious to see how this actually finishes out next year. and what spin-off is going to come next.
Ooh, okay.
Be careful
Okay.
what you wish for. Spinoffs don't always work out.
That
Well,
is
they are
true.
talking about either going with the rebellion of them taking over from the Targaryens or going to the 500 years in the
They've got a bunch of different
Or-
things, but just
With
because
the Kingsley.
you know what it is, like we've had a lot of spinoffs that just
My
you
only
think you want it, but then you realize you
Well,
didn't.
my concern is they're not going to go with the authors, the
Mm.
writers of
That's
Game
what
of Thrones.
pilots are for.
Yeah.
True. That's a big concern.
That's
but it would be
that's
interesting
because
to
they
see
have
them
said
go.
that they had said that they're not going
Ouch.
to continue on with the Game of Thrones series after this.
Well, I want to see 500 years into the future where everyone's text messaging and social media and saying like, "Oh shit! Did you realize Jamie's fucking his sister?" All right, sorry. Who is next? Who's next with the vote?
Alex Zach.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we got?
I had a close three, but my vote went to Game of Thrones. The other two I want to give a mention to were Daredevil and Castlevania, the second season. I did binge watch both Daredevil and Castlevania. The third season of Daredevil was amazing. I feel it was just as good as the first season. They really did well with the choreography. It's a shame that the series ended. But
Actually, a note on the series ending. I don't think it's actually going to be over. It's
It is
no, it is.
on
contractual.
Netflix.
No, it's done.
Netflix has the contract. They are not allowed to do anything
not-
for at
they're
least
just-
2 years.
Disney-
After Netflix
Because
cancels it.
Disney is coming up with their own streaming service.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
but
in the
Disney doesn't
contract
want
they have
anything
with
to do with
Netflix, they're not allowed
2 years
to do
is-
anything with those characters.
2 years is a
2
very
years.
short time.
2
After-
years. 2 years they'll probably have
We
it
say that
out.
now.
Well, it took us 2 years to get another Game of Thrones. Basically, it's like a year and a half.
There was some mention about that, and it seems like I don't know if Disney's gonna even want to pick up with the recent MCU series on Netflix.
Mm.
So
They kind of want
Those
to keep
might
it
be dead
PG-13, which
they're probably gonna
defends-
get watered down. So Castlevania, amazing season. Yeah, the storyline was really good.
Mhm.
But going to Game of Thrones, like I said, I gave it to that. I've been following Game of Thrones since the very first season and all the way to the current. So my fave.
All right, Game of Thrones. And what do you got for us, comrade?
Commodore.
Last time I wear a funny hat. I nominated for 2 things. One was The Expanse, which I'll agree with everything you said. I'll also point out that it mostly gets that nod by default because we don't have any other hard sci-fi out there.
True.
Even from the purported sci-fi channels,
No,
not giving us
seriously.
wrestling. Yeah, there's anyway.
Magic is sci-fi.
Except for Happy that sci-fi did.
Anyway, the other one I put out was Legends of Tomorrow, which is not so much for that individual show because you can't really look at Legends of Tomorrow or any of those shows on the CW because they're all intermixed with each other. They're all crossing over each other all the time. I like the entire CW DC verse, and of the 4 shows they have running that, 5 shows now in that thing, Legends of Tomorrow is the one that's just it's out there with its premise and it rolls with it and it has a fun time with it, even to the point where you have this really great Elseworlds crossover. A couple of what was it last week? Legends of Tomorrow did not distinctly have a part of that, but they decided to comment on it anyway in pretty much the most meta way possible, where they said, "Oh, we got a couple of calls from Barry and Oliver. Must be the annual crossover. I bet they're going to switch costumes." Like they're just willing to go out there with it, and they're having fun with the premise. And while they don't necessarily have all the characters the way they should be in the comics, or minor nitpicking like that, it's a show that's having fun with itself, and it's very enjoyable to watch.
Awesome. So with that said, those are all our votes, all our nominations. Let's get a drum roll going so we can figure out who actually won. I will unseal the envelope, try my best not to do my Steve Harvey impression, and announce the right one. And the winner is Big Mouth. Everybody loves youth puberty. Big Mouth has won this year for the best television series show out there. Big Mouth is on Netflix. Like I said, Nick Kroll is the creator of that. Go check it out. It's hilarious. It's fun. You will love it. And I'm pretty sure you're going to want to take a bubble bath right after you watch it. So there you go. Big Mouth wins for best TV series of the year.
So great.
What?
So great. The whole monster.
Yes, just randomly
You
say
ready?
it again.
Rolling, sound, speed. Sorry. Action.